Okay, sorry about the slight delay there. We had some business to attend to. Welcome in on a Friday. If you hear a slight noise here, this is, as Roberto would say, me slipping on the mic muff gently. There you go. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. Sully, I got a monitor on the fritz over here, so if you want to figure that out. Michigan State survives. Remember we talked yesterday how in March with Michigan, like, don't get down on your team for surviving? It's the same thing. Like, yes, I would much prefer State win by 100. But in March, just survive and advance. And the same way I was not critical of U of M yesterday, though I know many are. Sully's saying a lot of Michigan fans, you're upset somehow. You're not pleased with the way your team played. Well, listen, the whole deal is when it's one and done. Conference tourney or the big dance. The other team knows that they lose, they're going home. And I don't care who you're playing. Everybody plays a little harder, plays a little tougher. So I didn't get down on Michigan yesterday, and I'm not going to get down on my guys today. What I will tell you is I absolutely, without hesitation, okay, taking rivalries out of it, I absolutely hate Wisconsin basketball. I hate them. I hate their players. I hate their coaches. I hate the way they play. They're a bunch of thugs. That's what Wisconsin is. Ethan Happ plays like a thug. Matt Davison wrestles out there. They play like dirtbags. The flopping, the grabbing, the melodramatic histrionics. I hate Wisconsin. And I'll tell you this. By the time he's a senior, this Davison kid is going to be the most hated player in the country. Grabbing, tried to cut out Xavier Tillman's knees, wrestling guys. He doesn't play defense. He's looking for the charge. He's a flopper. Ethan Happ grabbing people's arms, play fighting with guys. This has been Wisconsin basketball for 15 years. Maybe 20, if I'm going to be really, really accurate to the initial Bo and Tony Bennett era starting in 99. I absolutely hate Wisconsin. The way they play basketball is bad for the game. The tempo, the style, and they're dirty. They're a dirty basketball team. Flopping, that's dirty. That's weak. But the grabbing and the wrestling and what they try to get away with, honestly, they like Happ and Davison. Like, you know how you've heard that before in the NBA? People go, oh, the old Indiana Pacers were a bunch of thugs. Yeah, Wisconsin, thugs. I don't care if they're from the farm. That's how they play. I don't care if they look like nice kids. They're dirtbags. I hate Wisconsin. Hate them. I am so happy that I don't have to see them again until next year. Playing that team twice in a week, get out. Absolutely get out. Now, if you got feedback, I mean, God forbid we actually talk about a game that just took place. I'd love to have it, because here's the other thing I'm getting to a conclusion on. Article in the newspaper. Miles Bridges, key to MSU's success. As much as I want to agree with that, I think there needs to be a caveat that late in the game, you're just not going to be able to count on Miles Bridges. He hit the three against Purdue. Congratulations. Late in games, he's not there for this team. I mean, like, look at the Iowa game. Late in the game, goes to the line, misses a pair to ice the game. You go out today, you miss the front end to 1-1 under a minute to go. You're a 90% free throw shooter. Late in the game, I think it's Cassius Winston. I think Cassius Winston has to be this team's closer. And I like Miles. I mean, this isn't some kind of ad hominem attack. I just don't think the late game is going to be his time. Hope he proves me wrong. I hope he develops some killer instinct late in the games, but I do not feel that Miles Bridges is that guy. You can be a really good player, but not every guy wants that ball late in the game. And when you're a 90% shooter and you're missing free throws late in the games, I've only got one thing on my mind when it happens. That you're nervous. That moment's too big for you. When it happens multiple times in the same season, in the same situation, makes me nervous about you. Late game possessions, under 5, under 4, under 3, etc. Miles didn't look good down there. I mean, he threw up one shot. It didn't even hit the rim. It was bad. I think Cassius Winston might be that guy. You know, Winston is probably the key to this team in the postseason because I just think Miles is Miles. I think he'll go out. He'll get you 15 or get you 17. That's about it. Hope I'm wrong. Hope Miles explodes for 30 when they need him. Maybe he goes toe-to-toe with one of the other, Naismith finalists in an Elite Eight game and sends State to the Final Four. Great. I'd be happy to be wrong. But I kind of just believe that if we're waiting for Miles Bridges to be this 23, 24, 25-point scorer in a big spot, I don't know if we're going to get it out of him. Jaren Jackson continues with the fouls. Now, look, the way he fouled out of the game, again, it's Wisconsin being dirty. They're dirtbags. Ethan Happ grabbed his arm and sold it. He's just dirty. That's Wisconsin. Davison's out there wrestling, constantly on the floor, constantly elbowing guys. He's just ratty. By the time that kid's a senior, if you don't know who he is now, you're going to know him because you're going to hate that kid. Hate him. But that's what Wisconsin's done for ages. For ages. Whether it goes back to Frank the Tank, whether it goes back to Devin Harris, whether it goes with Nigel Hayes, I don't care who the players are, who the faces are. The names change, the faces change. Anyone who plays with Wisconsin, that's how they play. I hate them. Hate their guts. I can't stand when I hear people talk, they're a throwback. No, they're dirtbags. The way they play the game is wrong. No, I don't like when teams play and try to hold you to under 30 possessions in a half. It's boring. It's drudgery. No, I don't like teams that are cheap and dirty. I don't like it. And guys who are floppers. I think flopping's the weakest move in basketball. I hate it. Wisconsin's been flopping for 20 years. And that Davison kid learned quick when he got to campus. I really do not like that young man on the court. Off court, I'm sure he's a lovely human being. On the court, they play like a bunch of guys, like a jailhouse game. Don't like him at all. I don't know if Michigan fans agree. I don't even know if Michigan has basketball fans. Would love to talk to you, but remember what I said. I didn't get down on your team yesterday for surviving Iowa. I'm not going to get down on my guys. This is a different deal in March. Every game you win is an accomplishment in March, whether it's your conference tourney or whether it's the big dance. So the stakes are different, so are the expectations. Win by 1 or win by 100. Just win. Just live to play. And that's kind of where I wanted to open up. I mean, I'd love to talk to people about the Miles Bridges thing. But I know if you're going to talk about Miles Bridges, you actually have to watch games. But I know the newspapers have said, hey, Miles is the key. I'm not so sure. I think Miles is who he is. I think he's going to play the way he plays. I don't believe he's got a killer instinct. Late in the game, the guy, believe it or not, that I do believe you can go to and he's going to hit the shot is Cassius. You might agree. You might disagree. I don't know. I'm just trying to see if you have a pulse here on a beautiful Friday. We got basketball in the air. Michigan's going to take the floor. And by the way, this is a topic I'm going to get into today. I'm rooting for Michigan. I was rooting for him yesterday. If you're not rooting, like if you were a Michigan fan and you were rooting against State, you're an idiot. And if you're a State fan rooting against Michigan, you're an idiot. We have an opportunity to have Michigan State play for a second time this year because we all got robbed with them only playing once. And it's on a Saturday afternoon Big Ten tournament. I think as sports fans, if you're a real fan, you should want that. I want that. After Michigan embarrassed us at the Breslin Center, I absolutely want another shot at them. I absolutely want rivals to square off. Like, I don't get any joy if Nebraska knocks you off today. I don't want that. And I know we got a couple of idiots here at the office who, like Evan being the idiot, rooting against Michigan. I'm like, dude, you don't want to sit home tomorrow, clear out the afternoon, and watch Michigan State at Madison Square Garden? What's the matter with you? Will I be rooting for Michigan to beat Nebraska? Absolutely. I just think if you're a fan, you want to be the team to knock them out. And you should want another crack at them because Michigan embarrassed MSU the way they've been embarrassed at Breslin very few times in the last quarter of a century. Truly, it was an embarrassment. It was a punking, if you will. Beef, if you will. But I'd love to talk about the game. I hate Wisconsin. I hate their players. I hate the way they play. I'm sure they're all fine young men. On the court, they play like dirtbags. On the court, they're cheap. They flop. I hate them. And they've done it since the Grinch coach there. I hate them. Thank God we disposed of them. But you got the Miles Bridges thing that's out there. You've got this Wisconsin take. I don't know a team I hate more in sports than Wisconsin hoops. And certainly I'd like to talk about what could be a really special Saturday afternoon with Michigan and Michigan State tomorrow. And I think if you're a State fan right now, savor the win, but you should be rooting for U of M. We want a shot at them. You should want to see that. 248-539-9797. We'll get some of the people in the mix next on this is an exciting Friday. I love this time of year.